just set it up. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. What about yourself?
Good, man. Good, man. Can't complain.
Look like you got quite the nice office there.
Yeah, thanks, bro. You know I work from home, so this this work home office. Joseph, how you been? Joseph, where are you now?
Where am I?
Yeah.
I'm in my office.
No, I mean, where do you live? Where do you live? Bacon was gonna be on it.
He is. I don't know where he at. I just
Hey, see, you were supposed to talk to me first because I didn't do no research. I was so busy today, I didn't do no research. I know enough about Tree. I don't know a lot about Wayne Brown.
Bacon, man. I told you.
Okay.
Life happens.
Yeah.
Let me call Wayne, see if he's coming or not.
Hey, why don't you talk that Wayne now, Marvin?
Huh? Oh, he's on. That's why. Hey!
Wayne on?
What's going on, man? I've been doing some work calls.
Bacon, what's good, man? Bacon, what's good?
What's going on?
What's up, man?
Let me grab something so I can look decent.
So you can look decent, man. What you mean? You in your what? You in your late 30s, early 40s. Ain't nothing you gonna put on gonna make you look decent.
Don't do me like that.
Okay. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second.
Bacon! Hey, man, what you got going on
Good,
there?
brother. Huh?
I see you got the full, you got that little Rick Ross going in over there, huh? That James Harden early stage. You got that middle school James Harden.
Yeah, I'm only a couple of months in.
He got James Harden his freshman year. Welcome to another episode of Marvin Constant Show. I'm here with my co-host, Joseph, the man himself, championship belt and all.
Marvin, once again, I just want to thank you for letting me be a part of this show. But as you can tell, I lost my hat. Busy day today. Yeah. I did hear something very important I wanted to share with you.
I'm on the fence about whether or not I even want to hear this because I don't know what direction it's going to go, but we'll try.
You want to hear it because it's important. It's important for the state of Alabama to hear it.
All right, go for it.
You know, what's the difference between Jordan Harris Stadium and a porcupine?
I have no clue.
You have no clue?
No clue.
There's 80,000 pricks inside the stadium. Oh, kill me.
Really, Joseph? Really? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get started. So without further ado, we have two very phenomenal guests for you tonight. Mr. Waine Bacon himself, former Indianapolis coach, former member of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Mr. Triandos Luke, former Denver Bronco, former member of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Welcome, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's a pleasure.
Anytime. Thank you. All right, so I want to jump right in with you, Tree, first and foremost. So during your recruiting, what was it that stood out about Alabama that made you decide to pick Alabama? Because I know you're a lot closer to another school that I'm not going to mention, but I know you're closer to that school than Alabama.
You know what? Going back, it seems like ages ago, but it definitely had to do with, you being there and Bacon being there and building the program up. When I came in 2000, we were preseason ranked 3rd in the country, had a ton of talent, had some really high expectations, and we were throwing the ball left and right. You had Deuce there, Antonio Carter, Freddie Millen, Sam Collins. You had a ton of talent at the receiver position. So I wanted to come in and make a name for myself and be a part of something great. And thought we were going to move on and do some great things. And then obviously, what happened with all the probation and everything and the endless numbers of coaches before Coach Saban. But nonetheless, glad I had an opportunity to play at the university and attend the university and got some great memories and develop some really good friendships.
How does playing for multiple coaches, how do you feel like that impacted you as a player and your draft stock as you moved and transitioned to the NFL?
I think it was both a blessing and a curse. When I look at it, it forced you to be adaptable. Coming in with multiple coaches, coming in with Coach DeBose and then Francione and then Price and then Shula, forced you to learn new offenses, different philosophies, learn different coaching styles. And then you had to kind of start all over because, coming in with a new coaching staff, they don't know you from Adam. So you kind of had to build yourself all up again. So I think from that standpoint, it was a blessing because, forced you to be adaptable, like I said, and be able to respond in all different types of situations. But then it was a curse from the standpoint of you had to start all over again. You couldn't really build off the rapport that you established and foster with prior coaches. They didn't know your strengths versus your weaknesses. So you kind of had to start all over again. But nonetheless, I think the pros most definitely outweighed the cons. And I think looking back, the group kind of stayed together. And regardless of who was coaching, we had a good, strong camaraderie in the locker room. And you could depend on your brother to your left and right when it was time for game time.
Hey, Triandos, thinking about to our childhood, me and you, we went to school together. I was just wondering, who was your favorite football player on your high school team, and why was it me?
So favorite high school football player, right?
Yeah, why was it me?
You know what? It was you because you had a great work ethic. You had a good tenacity about yourself. You were a team player. You had strong leadership skills. And, all of those things are why I picked you, Lozada.
Oh man, you so full of crap. This thing is funny, but I hear you. I remember looking back at the Saturod, and when we were in the 8th grade, because I'm a year below you. And I remember watching you in varsity, and we were all the football players underneath you, because you didn't go straight to JV, you went varsity in your freshman year. And I remember looking at you playing football, and the whole city was in awe of you. My question is simple: do you feel like you had the skills to play at the next level, or did you have any doubt?
Yeah, in all honesty, I had absolutely no doubt. I knew that, I had the skills, and then I knew what I need to do to, get to the next level. Funny story. I don't know if you remember Coach Roden. You remember Coach Roden?
Yeah. He's my insurance salesman.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
So listen, so I remember in South Girard or in Central somewhere, it was either 8th grade, 9th grade year, he brought the group of guys together, and he was going into, all the facts and statistics about why only a small percentage of players make it to the National Football League or the NBA or professional sports. And I remember he told us, he said, when I look out in the audience, just to be honest, possibly all of you all are going to make it to the next level. And I remember hearing that. I was like, well, he must be talking to these other guys. He ain't talking to me. And I remember that's the type of confidence I had in my ability and the fact that, I was able to learn and grow and expound on some of the skill sets God blessed me with. So,
Wayne, I gotta ask this question, Wayne. Football isn't really as big up north, especially in the Northeast, as it is in the South. So how does Waine Bacon end up from Northeast DC area? How do you end up at Alabama? Because that doesn't happen too often.
Let's just say I was in the right place at the right time. We'll say the right school at the right time. So my recruiting started with the head coach of our rival high school was Bill McGregor. He actually coached Marvin Brown, Danny Martz. It's one more player that was from DeMatha that was on the team during our time at Alabama. But I was the quarterback on their rival team. But I was the quarterback on their rival team, and I played defensive back as well. And I used to kill them. And so Ronnie Cottrell was the recruiting coordinator at Florida State. And he would come to DeMatha to scout, I don't know, probably 50 of their players. And the head coach said, I have a player that I need you to go see. He's at our rival school, and his name is Waine Bacon. And from there, it took off. So Ronnie Cottrell, I was actually going to Florida State. He actually left Florida State and came to Alabama. And next thing you know, he called my mom and said, hey, I'm leaving Florida State, but I have an opportunity for him at Alabama, and I want him to consider it. Alabama was always my favorite college team. I always watched them on TV as a kid. And when that opportunity came up, my mother said, do what you have to do. If I have to pay for it, you can go if you want to go, or if you want scholarships, make your choice. And I actually made the choice to go to Alabama.
Nice. So you come to Alabama, and you're playing with all these phenomenal players, right? So how many times did you get beat by Triandos at practice?
Tree and I had some good battles in one-on-ones. It was always pretty competitive because he was a technician. Between he and Antonio Carter, man, they were two of the cleanest route runners that I've seen on the college level and in the NFL level. I mean, and I played against some good receivers, but a lot of them get by on just pure talent, and don't take the route running, the techniques, the specifics of the route running, the yardages at which you got to make a break. They don't take it that serious. But those are two receivers that I used to love to cover, because me playing safety, I didn't get to line up against some of the best receivers that we were playing against. I would cover the slot receivers at time to time, but those two in practice, I mean, they just brought the best out of you. So if you want me to give it a number, I'll say he never beat me, but I'm supposed to say that.
Hey,
Sorry,
Wayne. Wayne, Joey here. First off, it's nice to meet you, my man.
You too.
It was discussed about probation, and you and Triandos played during the probation years. How did it affect you personally and mentally?
It really didn't affect me either way. Like I said, I had a longer road to Alabama. I wasn't one of their priorities coming in. So I worked my way from walking on to getting a scholarship to starting and starting my last 2 years there. And at the end of the day, probation wasn't going to stop my hustle. It wasn't going to stop what I gave my teammates, because I was always one of the guys that was trying to push everybody around me and lead by example. And that probation was a test of character for that whole team. We had players that had options of leaving and going to other schools and not being able to, not having to sit out. And that probation really brought the best of us out my senior year. And we had a phenomenal year. We started off with a great game against Oklahoma. We lost. But I think we elevated from that moment on. That year, I think we led the nation in defense. But you just saw a team come together the year after probation, when a lot of people around the country were wondering, hey, can we pluck these guys from Alabama? And we had loyalty. So it didn't hinder me at all.
Well, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Triandos. I'm pretty sure that you was a spectacular player in high school. Did you have any doubt going to the next level?
I didn't have any doubt. I knew that I would do it. The thing is, knowing that I was going to go to the NFL, I didn't know that. I mean, at a time, you realize that you have the opportunity to go, but that wasn't my goal. My goal was to continue playing college football and get an education. And I was blessed with the opportunity to play in the NFL. And the Atlanta Falcons drafted me, and then I played most of my career with the Indianapolis Colts. So it was, at a time, I realized it was actually going to happen, but it was not an ultimate goal of mine.
Triandos, I always like to ask people this question because I know for all of us, it's something different. We all view it differently. Playing at Alabama, playing in Bryant-Denny Stadium, it's a huge stadium. There's so many great games that were played there. You can talk about going on the road, playing in all the other amazing stadiums in the SEC. What was your favorite moment from playing at Alabama, whether it was at home or on the road?
Yeah, so good question, Marvin. Yeah, I mean, there were a ton of them. But I can go back to what Wayne said, his senior year, my junior year. You know, we just had a close-knit group, had a lot of talent, good coaching. And I remember we went into Tennessee in their stadium, it's 110,000+. You know, it was a sea of orange. You know, they had beat us, I don't know how many times, but, you know, it was expected that they were going to beat Alabama third week in October. I remember that year was different. You know, we, like Wayne said, we played Oklahoma tough, and then I think we were probably even undefeated up until that point, to you know, after that one loss. But we spanked them. I mean, we beat them. I think it was 31-3 or something. I don't remember the score exactly, but we put a really good butt whooping on them, and it was nice to celebrate with the team, you know, after the game, and then, you know, leave the stadium all deflated when they were all hyped up prior. And then just to celebrate with those cigars in the locker room, you know, and me not knowing how to smoke a cigar, try to smoke. Plenty of
it.
Yeah. plenty other people like choking up. But yeah, that was probably my fondest memory. One of the games. I think.
All right. As you transition from Alabama to the NFL, what was it for you that you felt was more important as you made that transition, and how did it help you to become a pro? Because a lot of people don't understand what it means to be a professional athlete. You have people who play in the NFL, but they're not professionals, you see, because it's a mind state, it's a mentality, you know, and that's what separates the good from the great. And that's what separates, you know, the people who are barely hanging on from the people who are there for years. It's that mentality. So what was it for you that, you know, that got you to that point that made you what is considered to be truly a professional?
Yeah, well, yeah, good question. I think it started with preparation, you know, the combine and the all-star games, and making sure that even though you're not required to work out and be in good shape and be prepared, but, you know, having that ability to be self-disciplined and really make sure that you're prepared and ready to go when your opportunity comes. But then I think also once I got to the next level, I remember getting drafted 6th round, and we all know getting drafted 6th round don't mean a thing in the National Football League. You sometimes you're just as good as, you know, someone who just kind of got a free agent deal. But anyway, I remember coming in, I was like the 11th receiver, and what really differentiated from what was the differentiating factor for me is that I understood I had to be strategic when I got in on different snaps, what position in the snap, or am I playing in X, Y, Z, and I kind of got an understanding of when best to get in and really showcase my talent. And I think probably more importantly is getting a special spot and knowing which special teams to go after and really capitalize on any opportunities there.
Triandos, you know, I've mentioned before our hometown, you know, we definitely supported you all through Alabama and all through your NFL career. How important was your family's influence?
You know what? Very high. My dad, thank God, he's still living today, and he's like my best friend. But he really provided that mentorship and leadership and guidance, and really kind of helped coach and develop me, from little league, through high school and even still today. And he was really a guiding factor for me, going through the recruiting process and understanding, what things were priorities and probably most important for me. And like Wayne said, education was top of them. But then really knowing which coach would fit best with my personality. So most definitely my dad, and then my brothers and sister and my stepmother all played a major part in providing that support and helping me to be successful.
Well, getting off football, I just want to let you know, your 4 years at Alabama, when you played for the Broncos, the Giants, I was right there watching, and a lot of people from our hometown was watching. And I'm pretty sure I can speak for Phoenix City, Alabama, and say that we were very proud of you. With that said, what made you want to go on a reality TV show? Because I read today you was on a reality TV show.
You know what? I blame that all on my wife. We were on House Hunters, and this was 8 years ago. My daughter's 8 now, and it was well, I guess she was 6 months at the time. And we loved the show years back, and we were going to purchase them, and we emailed them, and we kind of gave them our background and all that stuff, and they came out and filmed us, and we had a blast. And as a matter of fact, it's funny that you mentioned that, because we just looked at it. We bought another house 2 weeks ago, and we looked at that video prior to see, what kind of drew us to that house.
I haven't seen it. I'm gonna look for the episode, but yeah, it was funny that you, of all people, was on a reality TV show, because in high school you was always so laid back, and I wouldn't say shy. I would say, you remember, for example, you remember Gabriel Warren?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, he was a track star at Alabama, and now he's a speaker. And I was joking around with Gabriel, Dr. Warren, if you will. I was like, how did you go from being the shy kid into a motivational speaker? And the same thing for you. Like, you was always so laid back, not shy, but you're the kind of person that just look back at sit your back and look back and just kind of watch the room, see how everybody acts. You don't seem to me the guy who goes on reality TV shows.
Yeah, so I blame that on my wife. She was former Miss Black USA, and she loves the spotlight and attention, and so I put it all on her. Funny story, when you do look at it though, they did edit one thing. They said I said heavens, and I don't think I ever said heavens before in my life. And I remember when I was watching it. I think they edited that in. So if you hear me say heavens, it wasn't me.
Hey, look, I see Bacon over there shaking his head. He's fully agreeing with you, Joseph. Like,
Tree was one of the most laid back dudes, and I used to hate, well, let me say this. I heard people used to hate getting beat by him because he didn't talk no trash. He gonna dap you up after he beats you, and he gonna go back to the huddle. But let Freddie Millens, let AC, let one of them catch a touchdown. I mean, you might not have. I still hear some of it to this day. But Tree was that he described Tree to. He does not change. He has not changed at all.
Well, he was the complete opposite of me on the field, because I was gonna talk trash, hit you, laugh. I was gonna talk trash the whole time.
That was me. That was me. That was me. On Saturdays, I was gonna give you an earful.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in practice, I'm gonna give it to you.
In practice, I was trying to make it through.
So Wayne, I want to ask you a question, man. So you played for the Colts. You played with some legends, man. I mean, those receivers, that quarterback, what was that experience like playing with those guys? Because for people who don't know, please tell them who all you played with, because that was historic playing with those guys. You're talking future Hall of Famers.
Yeah, so on the Hall of Fame list, we have Peyton Manning, who'll be a Hall of Famer, Edgerrin James, who just went into the Hall of Fame, Reggie Wayne, who is a future Hall of Famer, Marvin Harrison, who is a Hall of Famer as well. So let's just say there wasn't a lack of highlights. I mean, in practice, it was highlight reels, and it showed up on Sundays as well. I mean, we had a great group of guys, and those are some of the best guys that I was ever able to team up with, because a lot of people, the first thing people always ask me is about Peyton Manning, and, you know, how is Peyton as a person? And they're expecting me to say something totally different. I mean, Peyton was one of the best teammates that I've ever had. He treated everyone equally. He got on his Hall of Fame teammates just as much as he would get on me if I made a mistake. He treated no one differently. But those guys really pushed us to the max. I mean, our defense wasn't the strong suit of our let's say our back end of our defense wasn't the strong suit of our team. But those guys pushed us to make us better. And it was just great being a part of that team.
So quickly, how many times did you get in trouble for hitting one of those guys in practice?
Oh, all the time. All the time. Reggie Wayne and I, we used to have a whole bunch of battles, and Marvin Harrison and I as well, because in the NFL, I played mostly corner. And I would cover Marvin and Reggie all the time in practice. So if I would pick Peyton off, guess what? You're going to have a rough rest of the day in practice, because he was going to come at you the rest of the practice, even when his coaches would yell at him and tell him not to do it. He didn't get yelled at that much, but you could see the coaches looking at him when they wanted to throw the ball somewhere else. But if you made a play on him, you better be prepared to make plays all day, because he was not going to lighten up on you.
You know, but I couldn't imagine being there with Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, and Edgerrin James all running routes at the same time in practice. I mean, that's like, which direction do you even go?
Let's just say you got to stay focused and do your job, because it's people running all over the place. And by the time you blink your eyes, you see somebody coming across your face, somebody coming to you, somebody going past you. So, I mean, it was a cluster of things going on at one time. And if you just did what you were supposed to do, you would make out all right. And that's what I coach now, and I try to tell kids that same thing. And it's doing your part. And that's a big part of football. It's not trying to do too much, trying to be the superstar, or force a play to come your way. You do your part, plays are going to come your way. So that's basically what I went out and tried to do. And that was my philosophy, because in the NFL and the college game are two totally different games. I think I was very well prepared for the NFL playing in the SEC, but it was more of a job in the NFL, and knowing what your responsibilities were. So that's the biggest responsibility in the NFL, and that's how you stay around the NFL, is just doing your job.
Hey, Wayne, you know about the fan base here in Alabama.
Yes, sir.
You know, you and Triandos played during a time where, you know, things were going downhill. Mm-hmm. And right now we do have a lot of bandwagon fans that, you know, I love Alabama, roll tide, or some people up north will say tide roll, or whatever they say.
Oh my God, they mess it up.
Yeah, I know, right? With that said, how much love and support do you get from the fans today?
I mean, I'm going to tell you this. It seems like a tight-knit community. I mean, the fans to this day, like, I'd expect to go to Alabama and nobody knows who I am, or somebody will find me on Facebook, or I've gone a couple of places here and watched games, and when they build a relationship with you, whether it's just from being a fan or we get to interact with a lot of our fans, they carry it forever. And I met a guy maybe 4 or 5 years ago that he was a kid when he was introduced to me on Alabama Fan Day, and I was his favorite player. Picture that. But he remembered who I was I'm a 41-year-old man now. He looked at me and kept staring at me and said hello. And then he said, I just have a question. Are you Waine Bacon? And I said, are you the police? but I told him, I was like, yes, I am. And he asked to take a picture with me. We took a picture, and that's the kind of fans that Alabama has. I mean, once you're in, they love you for life. And it's a really good community to be in.
Well, you know, it reminds me of two little stories. I'll say it fast because, you know, we're running out of time. I was in Birmingham. I was doing a case in Birmingham, and I was getting an oil change. And I was eating at this little barbecue joint next to the place I was getting the oil change, and I saw Prince Wembley from the '92 championship team. And I recognized him. And I know he was with his family and everything. I didn't want to interrupt him, but I recognized him. I wanted to say hello. So I did exactly what you did. Are you Mr. Wembley? I'm Joey. Nice to meet you. I just want to say I'm an Alabama fan, Roll Tide. And I went about my way. But we also, on this show right here, we also interviewed Andrew Zhao. Now, Andrew Zhao was my favorite all-time player of Alabama because when I started actually watching football, now I've always been an Alabama fan, but, you know, when Andrew Zhao was playing, when I started watching football, he was the quarterback for Alabama. So the first person I told Marvin I wanted to talk to was Andrew Zhao. And, of course, we had him on the show. So that's how important, like, you and Triandos and Marvin, you know, are to us, to the fans, because that's why I am. I'm a fan. I didn't play collegiate football. You know, I've never had a skill set you three guys have. And I'm going to leave it not with a question, but with this comment. I just want to say to all three of y'all, the Alabama fan base appreciates all three of y'all. And I wish nothing but the best for all three of y'all.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, you know, before we close, I got to pick with y'all too just a little bit. It wouldn't be right if I didn't. It wouldn't be right if I didn't. All right.
Okay.
So, usually when you have somebody that you play with, there's usually some funny story about something that happened in practice or in a game. So which one of y'all want to tell it?
Funny story. Oh man, it's so many. Oh shoot.
Why ain't looking like? Don't tell that one. Don't tell that one.
I'm just thinking. I'm over here thinking.
I do have one, but I don't think you want me to share, Mark.
Nothing that's gonna get any of us in trouble. No. No.
I didn't share that one. Oh man.
Trust me. Listen. When TJ was on here and Tony Dixon, I was like, look, there's certain things we can't talk about. So, you know, it's like, so I can get it.
I'm sure TJ has stories.
Well, you know, me and Junior go back to middle school. So, you know, there's a lot of stories in that one.
Yeah. Man, I can't think of one that I feel comfortable sharing.
Well, if you're not comfortable, don't tell it. Please don't tell it.
Okay.
I'm going to have to text you mine.
Yeah.
You can edit it and tell it on the air later.
Oh, what? Man.
But I will tell you one thing, though. You know, Wayne had an opportunity to come, and I appreciate all those kind words. And one thing I will say about Bacon, he's one of the most versatile players I've ever played with. He had the ability to play corner. He had the ability to play safety. He was physical. He was fast. He was strong. He had good hips, good agility. So Wayne was really fun to play with. And I remember two stories. The hardest I ever been hit was probably, I don't even know if Wayne remember this, but we were scrimmaging. It was his senior year, my junior year, and I ran a 7 route. And I beat Wayne a little bit, and I was like, yep, I got you, Wayne. And he recovered, and he ran right through me. And I bounced up like nothing was wrong. But in all honesty, I felt like he broke my whole left side. You know what I mean? Like Cedric Entertainer said, I think he just broke my whole left side.
I don't know about this story because I don't remember ever being beat. But
no,
you know, since he said I recovered, I'll let him tell the story.
Wait. And then another story. when y'all blasted us, I was with the Broncos with the Colts, and y'all just ate us up. I don't know if you remember that playoff game. Y'all just destroyed us, right?
I do remember that.
And it was fourth quarter. I'll never forget, you were at corner, I was at receiver. And my coach said, all right, Tree, we got a chance. Let's try to get you a touchdown. And you probably don't remember this, but I ran a 12-yard out and up. And I say, I'm about to kill Wayne. I'm sorry, Wayne, I'm about to kill you. And, man, you didn't bite. You messed up my only playoff touchdown.
Sorry, man. We can't go back and take that one back. I kind of might remember that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so 2 stories about
it was cold up there, too.
Yeah.
I can imagine. But I will say one thing about you, Wayne, that I always admired, man. That vertical, brother. I was like, how does he have that vertical, man? Like, that is unheard of. It is ridiculous to have that kind of vertical, man. So I've always admired that because me and my little 36, you know, we didn't quite.
Yeah, I forgot what it was. It was 41 or 42. I can't remember, but it was pretty good. I used to be able to jump out the gym. Now age done caught up with me, man. I try to keep my feet on the ground.
Yeah, you and me both, man. I ain't jumping nothing, man.
Hey, Marvin, real quick. And I remember my freshman year, we were scrimmaging again, and you were at middle line, and then we were running a toss sweep, and I had to come in and crack you.
Ooh, that was the wrong thing.
Yeah, and you probably don't remember this, but I was like, I gotta make him a name, and it was almost like you saw me, and you just like, it was like I was a little fly. You was like, man, get your little. And I was so glad that you would run through me. You was like, man, you know, like you swatted a gnat. That's how you hit me. It was like, man, get your little.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Chris Samuels 2 days ago, and the first thing came out Chris' mouth, man, you the only person that ever knocked me out. So it was funny, right? So we had a blitz call. Chris, he see me coming. He was like, yeah, man, I thought it was going to be a walk in the park. I hit Chris. Chris turned an entire flip. All you heard was Chris jump up and holler at Callaway, oh, hell no, repeat it.
That was Callaway's favorite words.
Yeah.
But it take Chris to tell you about how that next day in film, he said Callaway was killing him. It's like, you let a freshman do this to you, man?
Yeah.
My favorite hit was in practice, actually. It was on Ahmad Galloway, and we were scrimmaging. I think it was in 2 days, and I think Ivory Williams' running back coach, and they ran some kind of outside zone. And when I tell you, I just decapitated Ahmad. He did a flip in the backfield when I hit him. You remember that, Tree?
I kind of remember that. Yep.
Oh man, it was, and he got up and looked at me, and he couldn't say nothing.
Were we at Brian? Were we at the stadium?
I think we were on the practice fields. I think we were at the Malmore complex.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, man, you know, it has truly been a pleasure, man, having y'all. I want to thank you again for taking time out of your busy schedule. So is there anything that y'all want to plug, anything y'all want to put out before we close?
Nah, but why don't you, not for me, but why don't you plug your book? Because I'm going to be trying to get this out so I can look like you.
Oh, the 40+ straw. You ain't trying. Wait, yeah. Listen, man, I'll tell you the secret. So I shot my book cover some months ago. All the pictures that I post, those are all old pictures, Wayne. No, but I'm doing it for a reason, though. I'm actually getting ready to launch my own supplement line as well. So I wanted to show people what I looked like some months ago.
See, here we go.
Versus now. Yeah.
Hey, Tree, I'm going to tell you this. Marvin, remember this. I think it was last year, a year before, we were talking, Marvin, and you were telling me to come on a quick Vegas trip with you and one of your boys. And I'm in shape. You know, I'm not cut up like I used to be, but I'm in pretty good shape. I said, Marvin was telling me about a party or something like that. I say, look, man, I'm not going anywhere with you, and you're gonna take your shirt off around me. It's just not gonna happen. I said, give me a year, and I'll take the trip with you next year.
Yeah. I saw what Marvin about a year ago. dang, what are you on, Marv? I need to get on what you on.
Yeah.
Well, you know, my supplement line will be coming out soon as well, man. 40 plus strong. That's the name of it. It's coming, man. So, you know, I just been doing a lot of stuff behind the scene. And again, I wanted people to see what I looked like months ago versus what I'm going to look like once I drop this supplement line. Because, I mean, I'm getting real close to being under, 2-3% body fat. So that's the ultimate goal, man. Because again, when you're in your 40s, that's unheard of, man, to be 41 and still holding it like that. So,
yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, listen, I got to talk to you about your publisher because I wrote a children's book, and I'm at the final point of it. I got my final draft, so I got to talk to you about a publisher and how to get it published and everything.
Man, listen, all you got to do is call me because I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm going to put you on because here's the thing. This is my second book. The first one I used a publisher. The second one I did the project independently. Doing this project independently was the best thing I could have ever did, man. So all you're doing is paying the editor and you're paying for basic publishing, which doesn't cost you much. But I'm not going to tell it all on air, but I'll give you the game on how to get this. Because using a publisher, they're going to take almost half your money and you pretty much locked in with them. When you do the project yourself, you can finance it yourself, and it is so cheap. Well, I don't say cheap, but it's not a bad expense as you think it would be to finance the project yourself, man. And then you have total control. You ain't got to haggle with nobody because it's your project. So,
okay, I'll hit you up offline.
Okay, that'll work, man. Well, Joseph, you got anything else for my people?
Yeah, please go to the CTS interview room, subscribe. The Marvin Constance show every damn, what day did we put the show on?
Really, Joseph?
There's so many shows, man. I got my show, I got this show, I got Raphael's show. Oh my goodness. But subscribe to the CTS interview room, go to our Facebook page. To all the Alabama fans, more Marvin Constant is coming. We're gonna be talking to all kind of legends. Triandos, it's been 20 years, man. It's been a pleasure. Wayne, it was nice meeting you, my man.
You too.
Man, again, thanks again, fellas. And hopefully COVID will cooperate. I get to see y'all at our 8-day function, man. Because again, we 20 years out, So, you got to make every day count because you don't know when it's going to be your last these days, brother.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And I look forward to seeing y'all again, man. And thank you again for taking time out with us today. And roll tide.
Roll Tide.